Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to be doing an ugly truth series about emotional unavailability. Okay, I myself have dated multiple men who like to come into relationships, and once things start getting a little bit, reality starts to set in. All of a sudden, you start seeing these signs. Once the fireworks wear off. Okay, one of the first signs is this person can try and move very, very quickly. They don't want to take their time to actually get to know you. They want to go straight into the bedroom, okay? They want to, get to the fun stuff, but they don't actually really want to sit down and talk about their feelings because that would require too much for them. Some of them can also have, it's like an emotional roller coaster with them. One day you guys are up and then the next day they're down, and you just don't know where you stand with this individual. And I feel like with that type of a person, it's like maybe they weren't nurtured enough as a child, so that's all they know. Maybe they had a parent that was up and down with them. And so, a lot of these emotional unavailabilities can be a lot to do with our childhood wounds. So please do keep that in mind. And just because somebody is an emotionally unavailable individual does not make them a bad person, okay? It's just something that they need to experience and something they need to work through before they can open themselves up to another person. Another sign is this person can be a perfectionist. It can be, the way that you dress or the way that you clean your house. It's like, they're so busy criticizing you and about the things that you do or the things that you don't do, that can be another sign. This person is a perfectionist, and they're worried more about the details than they are actually about the relationship. Another sign that somebody could be very emotionally unavailable is it's all about them. Everything is all about them. It's about what they need. It's about what they want. It's about the time they're willing to spend, their desires, their feelings. And I feel like this one you can see from a mile away, because it goes back to the emotional, one of the signs of emotional unavailability, excuse me, is, this person doesn't even want to talk to you about your feelings because they don't want to get too in depth, because that means that they might actually have to feel something. Other signs is this person could, let me think, keep everything to themselves. They're very secretive about their next steps, what they're doing, what they're planning for their future. They don't really want to share that with you, okay? And if they do, there's no thoughts of you in the process, okay? I feel like they'll talk to you even right in front of you about their plans of like moving to another city, or they're going to, they're getting ready to start these new plans, or, they're going to take a trip or something. But you're not included. So another one is they hurt your feelings, but they don't take responsibility for their actions, okay? Maybe they had a blow up and they took it out on you, but they don't actually take responsibility for their actions and for the fact that they hurt your feelings, or they don't take your feelings into consideration when you're asking them for something. And then, if they, cancel the plans very last minute, and you get upset about it, you guys were really never together in the first place, so you shouldn't even have an emotion and you shouldn't have any feelings about that. You should have never gotten mad. And so they can turn it around on you, okay? So please say, give me a wave in the comment bar if you have ever gone through any of these experiences. I feel like for a lot of them, though, when it comes down to them taking responsibility, it's usually a way for them to be able to flip it around on you. Other ones, here's another really bad sign. They have bad behavior around other people, right? Just around people in general. It could be around their parents. Maybe they treat their parents like garbage, or their siblings. They're not nice to the waitress or the waiter. And they have no regard for other people's feelings whatsoever. And that just shows you that if they don't care about other people, then they're typically usually emotionally unavailable, and it's time for you to move on. Another one too is they're always trying to flirt with you. They always want to flirt with you. It's like they like the chase, but then once they get it, they don't actually want it. So they'll continue just to flirt with you, but nothing ever gets serious. It's always like that surface level, and it kind of goes back. It's like they flirt with you to, it's like it looks good on paper, but when it comes to actually fulfilling some of these promises, they don't do anything. Unless it's just going straight to the bedroom, and usually they'll flirt with you on a regular basis just to get what they want from you, okay? So, but that's also a way for them to be able to keep vulnerability from happening between the two of you. They'd rather keep it very lighthearted, so that they can just chase you because they don't actually want you. And then once they get what they want from you, they're usually gone, and you don't hear from them again until they start flirting with you later on. Another way of telling that somebody is emotionally unavailable is there's never anything wrong with them. It's always the other people. Okay, it's always someone else's fault. They don't want to get into a serious committed relationship because of something that their ex did or their parents went through, and maybe their parents divorced multiple times, other people, and so they've always seen failed relationships their entire life. So they're just not going to open themselves up to this type of a relationship and it's usually one of those situations. They always have an excuse, and it's always somebody else's fault as to why, they don't want to take the relationship any further. But they're flawless. They've done nothing wrong. Well, and that gets us to the next one. They won't talk about commitment. They will do everything they can to avoid the C word, commitment. Okay? And it's usually because they don't want to put a label on their relationship. They just want to keep it open. Why? And they'll tell you, like, why do we need to label this? Why do we need to have a title? Why fix something that's not broken? Can't we just keep enjoying each other's time? That's usually a number one sign that somebody is emotionally unavailable. And you can't avoid that, especially for those of you who have always wanted to define a relationship and somebody who is looking for a life partner, their, husband, wife, but you can't overlook that one, because if you overlook that one and you think that you can change this individual, that's where you have gone wrong. This emotionally unavailable individual will say that he doesn't see commitment as something that's necessary, because he's trying to escape himself being emotionally hurt. So because of something that they've already been through in a past relationship, they're trying to avoid that altogether. Or like I said, it doesn't even have to be a past relationship. It can just be something with their friends. So a lot of the time what they'll do is they'll try and keep conversations at a very surface level. It'll be about work. It'll be about, the weather, sports, what your friends are doing. How what'd you do today? Very, very, very surface level conversations, because they don't want to get too deep. They don't want to have to ask you about your childhood. They don't want to ask you about your family ties. They're not even interested when you do talk about it. They kind of change the subject and it's right back on them. They can, pressure or, make you kind of feel stupid about maybe your likes or dislikes in life. You know, it could have something to do with your goals. They make you feel like they don't even care about your goals. You know, they don't sit and listen. Maybe they're looking at their phone. That's another sign of emotionally unavailable, is where they'd rather, you know, be on their cell phone the entire time and not really invested in a conversation with you and, you know, how you are or how you're feeling. Another one too is he can't relate to your feelings. Okay. And they won't hesitate to call you crazy to get away from you. They'll put that jacket of crazy on you. If you start having feelings and you're like, but wait a minute, you know, I really care about you. And then they go off and they can tell their friends, oh, this person is crazy. We've only been together this long and they already have these feelings for me. And so that's their way of like avoiding commitment, okay, is to make you look crazy. And they'll also make you feel like you're being desperate to move forward in a relationship with them and try to tie them down. It's really sad because I've actually been in so many of these situations where it's just like, wow, you know, and it's borderline narcissistic as well. Another sign of somebody who is emotionally unavailable is saying, I can't ever trust women, or I can't ever trust men again. That right there is a tall tale sign that this person is extremely emotionally unavailable. If they cannot trust the sex of the person that they were once in a relationship with, then you know that this person is not going to trust you regardless of what you do or how much you try to show them that you are trustworthy. They will do everything they can to, you know, twist that around on you somehow. So do keep that in mind. And one of the last ways of being able to tell a person is emotionally unavailable is that he doesn't have a good track record of serious relationships, okay, where they've never really gone anywhere. They could have been in a couple of, you know, long-term relationships. They could have been kind of serious, but never anything that ever got off the ground. Like they never really truly took it to the next level, okay? So you could, you know, find a man or a woman who's been in their 40s, 50s, you know, and they've never been married. Why have they never been married? Why have they never made it to the finish line? Now, if you're dealing with somebody in their 20s, 30s, okay, you know, a lot of people nowadays are not just running to the finish line. You know, they're not because of the era that we're in. It's really geared towards divorce and not really, you know, all the traditions are really being wiped out. And so people are not in those generations wanting to get married. It's a lot of the Capricornian, you know, energies that where traditional values once were, those are the people more apt and prone to be getting married and not this whole new Aquarian age that we're going into. So that does have a big play in a lot of this, you know, but if this person has, you know, he doesn't have a history of serious relationships. Like one of the biggest questions that you can ask an individual when coming into, you know, just talking to this person, one of the best questions that you can ask them to, you know, just kind of jumpstart to see where you are, where this person is ask them, what did you learn since your last relationship? And if this person can turn around and say, man, that bitch is crazy, you know, she did this, and this, but this person doesn't take any responsibility and say, you know, what I learned from my past relationship was, you know, this person asked me for more time and I worked too much. Or this person, you know, they needed me to sit and listen more and I was always so busy on my phone. Where this person is actually taking responsibilities for their misfortunes in relationships, then you can tell that that person could very well be somebody who is emotionally available, okay? Which is a good sign because you want somebody who is not so black and white. It's just is, you know, my ex did this to me, so therefore, because of that, I can't trust you because and I'm not going to open myself up to ever getting married again. Well, if that is something that is extremely important to you, no matter how cute this person or how beautiful this person is, if they're not going to meet you halfway and they're telling you that at the very beginning, then it is time for you to start looking elsewhere and tell this person it's been real, it's been fun, but it has been real fun, and just step on, You were never bound and stuck. Unless somebody's got you tied down in the basement, you're never stuck. So at any point in time, you can choose to get up and walk away from somebody who is emotionally unavailable. Don't let it, linger for years down the road, and then this person still, no matter what, and then they end up with somebody else, and you're like, holy shit, I waited for this person for so long. Sometimes that person is just emotionally unavailable for you, okay? Doesn't mean that somebody else can't help pull them out, but maybe it's just not your energy that they need at this time. So please do keep that in mind. Doesn't mean you're not good enough. It just means that you're being saved from something, and this person and you being together would not have actually gone as far as and to what it is that you want it to be. So I feel like, you really need to sit down and talk about this, to this person about their struggles in life, see where they're at, try to talk to them about vulnerable situations and see where, the boundary line is. Like I said, when somebody is emotionally unavailable, it does not mean that they're a terrible person. It just means that they are not open right now and that they do have healing that needs to be done before this person can even think about coming into a union. So please don't take that as a jab to yourself and allow that to make you insecure. It just means that there is some type of growing, and maybe there's something else out there that you too need to experience. So my suggestion is never wait around for somebody who is emotionally unavailable, because you could be missing out on amazing opportunities with someone else. And there's a whole world waiting for you to show up, and would be highly disappointed if you didn't. Anyway, you guys, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. For those of you who have purchased me a cup of coffee, I really do appreciate it. You guys, I love you all so very much. If you are interested in a personal reading, all my information's in the description box down below. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It does help my channel grow, and it does help me stay into the algorithm. You guys, I love you so very much, and be mindful of those emotional unavailable individuals. Take care.